Hey friends, Ginger here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to 2021 and the first TBR video of the year. I am so excited to be entering the new year and starting a whole new year of reading books. I am ready to get back into reading. So I don't know too many of the books that I'm going to be reading this month because I've kind of left it up for me to figure out in this video. So I guess without further ado, let's get into talking about the very few that I know I will be reading. So the first book I am for sure reading this month is The Damned by Readathon. I'm going to be reading this with my friend Ariel. I'm sure you guys all know who Ariel is by now. And so this is the sequel to The Beautiful by Readathon, which I read very recently in a video that was reading Ariel's favorites. So I really enjoyed it, she really enjoyed it obviously, and so we decided to start 2021. We are going to be reading the sequel, which is a 2020 release. And so if you guys watched my goals video yesterday, you'll know that I am planning to try to read a 2020 release each month, and so this one will for sure take that spot unless, you know, I can get to another one. But I can't really say too much about this as it is the sequel, but the first book follows our main character Celine, who is a recent immigrant to America, and she kind of discovers the world of supernatural beings in New Orleans. So I really enjoyed it. I'm very excited to see what becomes of the second book and buddy reading with Ariel because we both are able to keep each other motivated. The other book that I know for sure, or decided today I will be reading, is Hall of Smoke by H.M. Long. This is the debut book that I am picking for this month. It comes out later in the month, I believe January 19th. I'm going to pre-order it so that it arrives to me very quickly and I can focus on hopefully reading that in the month. I know this, or I believe this is an adult fantasy, and it has a very cool idea where our main character, it kind of gets, I believe she gets not told off, but the gods no longer accept her, and then her village is completely wiped out and she's the sole survivor, and so she is trying to win back the favor of the gods and going on an epic adventure, and it sounds really cool and unique. And I was torn between this one and Cast in Firelight, which is another debut, and I do think it's still going to be on my TBR. The more I read about it, the more I thought it was cool. It might not be this month, but definitely one that I'm looking out for. But yeah, Hall of Smoke is the one that I am going with, and so it's just such a beautiful cover. Like, look at this. I cannot wait to read it, and I'm very happy that Amber was the one who made up this challenge, and I'm really looking forward to trying to get more debut authors and 2021 releases onto my TBR. So those are the two books that I know for sure I'm reading in January now. I am planning to do 3 picks from my TBR jar, which I don't even remember what I put in there. I don't know if they're books or prompts. And I'm also thinking about doing the Among Us Readathon. I am planning to be a black crewmate because when I play Among Us, I am usually a black character with a cat hat, so I'm a black cat, and so I'm going to be a black crewmate, and I believe I have 6 or 5 prompts. I'm going to pull up the prompts right here. Yes, I have 6 prompts. So the first one that everyone has to do is to read a standalone or a sequel, and so obviously I'll be reading The Damned for that, and then there are 5 other prompts that I will need to do. So they are: read your most recent purchase or borrowed, read a book under 250 pages, read a book set in the past, read a book that features a title series, name author with the same first letter of your name. So this can be first, middle, or last. And then read a book that has a romance, as little or as much as you want. So I'm hoping that some of my TBR jar picks will fit these categories, and then obviously I am able to do a choice or more for the month. So we're just gonna do the TBR jar first, see if anything will fit into these prompts, and then if we need to pick out more books to fit the prompts, we will do that. So let's go ahead and get my little TBR jar down. I still have hopes on painting this. It's just like a little, it was like $2 at Michael's, and I was like, yeah, this will work. And I haven't yet because I haven't touched this in months. So I'm very interested to see what we pick. So we are going to go ahead and do, oh yeah, these are prompts, not books. So interesting. Okay, we're gonna do our first pick. One just fell out. I guess that's the one we're gonna go with. The one that fell out. So the first prompt is to read an ebook, and actually I'm really excited about that because I have been buying a lot of ebooks when they go on sale, like especially books that I'm really excited for. And so why don't we go ahead and look at my ebooks and see if there's anything that fits one of these prompts. Okay, so we'll go to my library. I don't even remember the prompts now. Okay, so I guess we could go with my most recent purchase because I very recently, actually I think yesterday, purchased one of my 2020 releases that I wanted to read this year, which is What Do You Wish For by Catherine Center. And so I think we might go with that one. I definitely am very excited to read it. One of Catherine Center's books was on my top 10 list for the year. So that one would fit for the most recent bought. So I think we are going to go ahead and go with that one. Alright, I will put this prompt back in when we are done, but for now we are going to go ahead and pick number 2. Okay, we're going to go with this one. What is this? Start a series. Alright, okay, let's see. What could this fit for the prompts? I think I could do Read a Romance for this because there is a series that is fantasy but has a romance kind of as a theme, like a love triangle as a theme. So let's go with that one. Why not? It's starting a series. And that is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. So I've had this on my shelf for a while now. And I recently saw Cody from Cody's Book Corner haul this trilogy, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that book and I should read it. And I do know that it's supposed to be like a really good one, especially for people who really aren't into YA fantasy, and although I am, I think that just means that it's good overall, so I'm very excited. And again, this follows a character who is set to be married to a prince, and she decides to run off and then is followed by the prince and also an assassin, but she does not know who is who. So I believe this has like a love triangle vibe in it, and it is a trilogy, so this would be starting a series. So I'm gonna go with this one. All right, and then our third pick for the TBR jar is a gifted book. So I don't, like, I've gotten gifts from my friends, but I don't really get too many books gifted to me, so this is actually a little difficult. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and go with the prompt that a book title or author starts with the same first letter as your name, and I'm going to go with Girls with Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan. This was gifted to me by my friend Felicia back when she had her booktube channel, so I've had this for a little bit now, and she very kindly sent this to me in a box. She had sent me a few other books, but this one was included, and this one I remember taking booktube by storm last year, I believe, or the year before, and I have not gotten around to it. So it starts with a G, and obviously my name is Ginger, so we're going to go ahead and fit this one into that prompt as well as my TBR jar. So let me look at the prompts here now that I've picked out books and see which ones I have filled. Okay, so we are reading a sequel for a prompt, check. Read your most recent purchase, check, that's our ebook. Read a book under 250s, not check. I have a book that I want to read for that though. Read a book set in the past, also not a check. Read a book that features a title or series that starts with your first letter, yes. And read a book that's romance, yes. So we need to get a book that's under 250 pages and a book set in the past. So I actually pretty much know what I want to do for these prompts, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab those books and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got both books. Actually, the one book I was planning to read does not take place in the past, which put a damper on things. So I picked a different book, but the one that I'm planning to read that is under 250 pages is I'm thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. And this one I picked up recently because the person at one of the local bookstores said that I would probably really like it, and they really liked it, so they convinced me to buy the book full price. So I really want to get to it and see what it's all about. It is a short book. It is only about 200 pages, so definitely for the prompt. And again, I'm very excited to see what this is about because I hadn't heard about it until now. And then the one that I'm picking for set in the past is a Readathon book. We have Ashes in the Snow, which was Between Shades of Grey. This I had found at the thrift store, and obviously it has the movie cover, sadly. Maybe if I don't like this, I will repaint it and gift it to someone, but I am very much into historical fiction lately because I read 5 in 2020 and I loved like all of them. At least they were all like 4 or 5 stars, and so I definitely think historical fiction is a genre that I am very interested in. And obviously this one takes place, I believe, close to World War II, but this one came before the other one of hers on my TBR, which is Salt to the Sea, so I figured I should get to this one, so it is going to be the one that fits that prompt. So I believe we have all of my TBR jar done, the other prompts I would like to do, and the other goals. So yeah, let's recap. I just realized I don't have a single thriller. Well, no, I think that one's kind of a thriller. So the 2 books that I do not have physically yet or is an ebook, we have Hall of Smoke by H.M. Long, which is the 2021 debut I'm reading, and then we have the Catherine Center book, What You Wish For, that is going to fulfill the ebook prompt, as well as the most recent one that I bought. And then we have my lovely stack of physical books that are mostly YA fantasy. So we have the Kiss of Deception by Mary Pearson, which will be for the romance prompt, and it was also one that was starting a series for my TBR jar. We have Ashes in the Snow by Readathon for Set in the Past. I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid, which was technically my choice book, and this will be under 250 pages. Girl of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan. This was for gifted, as well as the prompt to read the first letter being like my name. And lastly, we have The Damned by Renee Audier, which I am reading for my 2020 release as a buddy read and for the sequel. So these are the books that I'm going to be reading. So that's actually 7 books for this month. I don't think that's too ambitious because I am planning to read 6 a month, and so that's just 1 over. And hopefully if I can get all these done, I will read more books than that. But I just want to start out small so that I don't get overwhelmed, and I think that we have done a very good job. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please let me know below what are some of the books you're planning to read in January. I would love to know. And if you are also participating in the Among Us Readathon, let me know what you are planning to play as. I would be very interested in knowing. So again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you liked it. Subscribe to see more content in the future, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!